Considering the circumstances tonight and what was at stake, how pleased were you with your group's poise, the ability to handle those emotions, and even withstand some of their runs?
I mean that's something that we struggle with all year, including myself. Getting caught up in the emotions of the game, understanding that referees are not perfect, or we're going to make mistakes. It's just about how we respond. I think we did a really good job of that. It's a little bit more we can clean up, including myself, but I think you kind of give or take, with the passion and the fight that we play with every night. I think, it's kind of a two-side fold for sure.
The Hawks got your lead down to 3 points there in the third quarter. What does it say about this team and the way that you guys respond to adversity, that you were able to pull away in the fourth quarter and kind of reestablish yourselves?
Understanding not to get comfortable. I think we got a little comfortable in that third quarter. And then on the other side of it, they're an NBA team too with really talented players. You're never going to shut a team out, especially when the stakes are like this, playing for something as important as the 7th seed in the playoffs. So understanding that, they're going to go on that run, just weathering that storm. I think we did a really good job of responding, locking back in on the defensive end, and then whatever happened on the offensive end happened.
You guys have faced your share of adversity throughout the course of this season. How much did that maybe prepare you for kind of the ups and downs of this game and to come through at the end?
In my opinion, especially later in this season, we've had a lot of, Coach did a really good job of throughout the season making every game feel like a playoff game. It was a stretch where he was making every 7 games feel like, this is the first game of the series, this is the second game. And it was more of a mental thing that helping us prepare for it. So, dropping the first game, understand we got to win the second game and things like that. I think it just gave us a mental vision of, how the playoffs will work for us. So I give a lot of credit to the coaching staff for sure with that.
Talk about the spark that Cole and AB had coming off the bench and what it did for this team and y'all's confidence to be able to grab that win.
One thing we've always tried to tell AB is when he's aggressive and playing hard, it makes our team so much better. Getting downhill, attacking the basket, taking his open shots from 3. And then Cole, we all know how Cole is. Cole is one of those guys you can throw him out there up 10, down 10, and he can change the whole perspective of the game. He's a gamer. He's a guy that, no matter the situation, he's going to rise to the occasion and try to figure out a way to help this team win. So, those two guys did a really, really fantastic job of just helping us, especially in that third quarter, regain our momentum.
5 offensive rebounds tonight for you. It seems like a lot on a couple of those, it was leading to an and one or a big shift in the game. Yeah. How much do you pride yourself on making those moments and those impacts, those shifts based on your physical performance in the paint?
Understanding what this team needs. With my role on this team has changed a little bit, throughout the seasons of me being here, and just locking in on what can help this team, and that's something I feel like can, no matter what's going on in the game, can help change the momentum of a game. Whether it's we're already having momentum and I'm adding to it, or we're down and trying to fight back. So that's something I'm just starting to pride myself on a little bit more. And then also being in the playoffs, that's another aspect of it where it's every game, every possession is very important. So that's just something I'm just kind of trying to lock in on.
Wendell, 2 questions. One, can you talk about the matchup with Boston? And secondly, I know this is a throwback, but how close were you to signing with Harvard?
So the first one, Boston is they're reigning champs. They're I'm sure they're trying to do it again this year. It's going to be a really great challenge for us. They got a lot of scorers on that team. From the point guard to the center. I think it's going to be a very defensive-minded series for us. It's going to challenge us on the defensive end. Then offensively, I feel like we can. We're clicking all cylinders. We can compete with any team in this league. So I think it'll be a great opportunity for us just to learn and do what we can in that series for sure. And then to answer your question, the second question, my mom and dad both wanted me to go to Harvard. So that's how close I was. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like, would I've been a one and done? Would I've stayed all 4 years? Would I've got my degree? Would I be in this position? Would I've ever, you know what I'm saying? Like, all those things kind of go through my head, but ultimately, I think I made the right decision for sure.
With how much Atlanta's defense loaded up on Paolo and Franz today, how critical was it for you to step in and find your scoring for Cole, for AB, for all the other guys, for all the rest of the team to kind of fill in that gap in this game tonight?
That's gonna be the name of the playoffs for us. You know, those two guys are so talented offensively. I don't think one guy can guard, straight up those two guys. So they're gonna have to load to the ball, and we're gonna have to play off of closeouts, play off of dump offs, things like that. That's gonna be what makes or breaks our offense, in my opinion. So that's something that a lot of focus has been on when it comes to playing on the offensive end. Just playing off of the advantages that they create for us. So that's something that, throughout the whole playoffs is something that we're going to have to be really good at.
Since you got here, you talked about the importance of playoffs. For this group to now be in the playoffs 2 years in a row, what does that accomplishment mean to you about the growth of this group?
Man, it means a lot. I was here when, we was one of the worst teams in the league in terms of record-wise. To now, the expectation is being in the playoffs. We wanted to do a little bit better throughout the regular season this year. We wanted to improve on last season, but with the injuries, the ups and downs of the season, the emotional, the mental toll, everything that everyone was going through, I think we were very resilient and figured out a way to, make the best of the season. So now we're here, and now we just got to try to figure it out.